Welcome to part 2 of building my Maserati Boomerang. Here is where we left off in part 1. Yep, we put 2 honkin' Star Wars rocket engines on the back of this thing. Since we're heading in that direction, and I really didn't like the tires that came in this kit, let's just go full tilt flying car and fill in the wheel wells. I started out by cutting some 20 thousandths evergreen sheet to a rough shape that fits. Yeah, this is starting to look interesting. These were then glued in with superglue. I added a bit more interest with another strip of evergreen to continue the body line through the now filled wheel wells. In the first installment, I introduced the magical light and sound device. Then I butchered it, since I wanted the top of it for the engine cover. But in the end, it still worked. Then I had an idea. I could repurpose it into the boomerang. Next, I removed the guts of the device from its little carrier. It would be more appropriate mounted in the front, so I drilled a hole under the front valance and added some evergreen to hold the device in place. I had to lengthen the wires to relocate the battery pack since it wouldn't fit under the pointy boomerang nose. Let's do a test fire. With the repurposed laser now in, I started thinking again. It needed more lights. A trip to Hobby Lobby found this fun Elwire light kit. I guess EL stands for electroluminescence, whatever that means. Use caution. This is for adult use only. Alrighty then. The first obstacle here is that the included battery pack controller is way too wide to fit in the boomerang. It is set up for AA batteries. I needed something shorter. Have you ever heard of size N batteries? If you haven't, that's okay. Neither did I. After searching for AA substitutes, I found the size N to be just what I needed. They are the same voltage and have similar neutrons and electrons as those found in AA batteries. I didn't want to fry the EL wire or my model. So the saw came out again, this time to section the battery box. This was actually very easy because I could take advantage of a molded-in tab to keep it together firmly. Some electrical tape helped secure it even more. Now the battery compartment fits inside the boomerang. It's ironic the kit actually had a battery compartment molded into the chassis. It just didn't work well in this instance. Let's test the EL wire lights to see if they still work after all the surgery to the battery box. It sure looks cool. Now what to do with all this wire? The drill came out next. Some holes were made in the back. And some holes were made in the front. Some small holes were made in the sides, front and rear. Now it was time to weave the wire around the car. The small holes are for beading wire to secure the EL wire to the outside of the car. The EL wire is pliable. It just won't do tight right angles. I factored that into the design of how it wrapped in and around the car. After going around the outside, I still had a lot of wire left over. I started to think about what to do with it. What if I could continue the EL wire into the interior? That would be super cool. So more holes were drilled in the back. And more holes were drilled in the front. The leftover wire was wove throughout the interior after it goes around the car body. Back inside, it wraps alongside the seats, up around the back window, along the tops of the door panels, even the gauge cluster. Now to see if all this still fits. It's beginning to look like a bunch of neon blue spaghetti to me at this point. Now I'm checking to see if the light and sound device still fits after all this. The wires for it run through the center tunnel. I still have some extra EL wire left if I need to add any more. The good news is that it all still fits, even after cramming the battery packs in. Even better news is the chassis pan will snap in place to hold this mess together. This looks to be a good stopping point. If you think that this is going off the deep end, let me know down in the comments. Be sure to share and subscribe, because I gotta tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet, because I got all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.